Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Backstage Spotlight. Today we are with Jordan. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? How's your day been so far?
It's all right, thank you. I mean, it's 11 o'clock, so I've just finished my breakfast actually.
Oh, nice. Well, I've been in and out of London already, so you've had a slower morning
Oh,
than me,
great.
which is nice. So for those listening, would you like to introduce yourself and just say what you're doing at the moment?
Yeah, my name is Jordan Cambridge Taylor. Ooh.
Ooh, the full
And
full
I'm
name on this
currently
podcast.
full name. And I'm currently in Why Am I So Single in the West End. Um, and having a great old time.
Great. Oh, I saw the show maybe a month ago now, and it was
Hmm.
great. And it's just gone wild on social media, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It really, really has. So how did it come about in your life? Like, when did the auditions come? Talk us through that process of finding out that you got into the show.
Sorry, that was my jaw. I had my first audition. Actually, wait, let me go all the way back to the beginning because
Okay.
I definitely, what's the word, manifested this. I 100%
Oh,
manifested
okay.
it.
Tell
So
me.
I saw the workshop was happening and like saw so much stuff about it. And do you know Mickey J Theatre at all?
The name does ring a bell.
He's like a YouTube blogger,
Yes.
and me being a huge theatre nerd, watched the video and I was like, this sounds like exactly what I want to be in. And then heard through the grapevine of different people that'd been in for it, and they're like, it's a non-binary role. And it's literally like a lead, like they sing the Boots House down, and I was like, okay, that sounds like everything I want to do. Um, and then I kept I kept going in for other stuff and seeing people auditioning for the show, and I was like, I want to get in, I want to get let me in, just like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
As you do.
and and then I think it was like March this year, I want to say, I got an availability check, and they were like, "Would you be interested?" And I was like, "Would I be interested?" Don't be silly. Don't be silly.
Yeah.
And then they sent through a disco ball, and I went, great. Um, and they were like, yeah, so belting a C, and I was like, wonderful, definitely something I could do. Let's go for it.
Of course.
Um, and then yeah, went from there, auditioned. I had like five or six. I had 6 rounds.
Oh, six. We can't say
And
six on this podcast. You have to sing it.
yeah, well, that's not very clear, is it? Um, and yeah, and it was an actual dream come true.
Oh my goodness. I can only imagine when you found out. Like, where were you when you got the call?
I was on my way back from the doctor's.
Oh, classic.
Funnily enough. My agent, bless him, gorgeous, gorgeous man, but like went about it in the most roundabout way, and I was like, "What on earth is going on?"
Oh no.
He was like, "What's your availability?" And like, I was like, "I don't really know. Like, I don't know what I'm doing in like June, July."
And then you just
Yeah,
found out and you were like, oh my goodness, this is it.
instantly started crying because, but wait.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
amazing. So then you went into rehearsals soon after, and how were they?
Yeah, we started rehearsals. Well, we did like a week where we had like the rehearsals for West End Live,
Mm,
and got to meet all of the cast and have like a sit down and like really get to know each other, which was really nice.
so nice.
Um, like I had fully stalked everyone on Instagram before, so I was
Of
like, "Hello,
course, you have
you
to.
Taylor." Yeah, but like usually you're not like I've seen your singing videos, they're really good, but of course that's the first thing that I did because hey, hey.
You have to.
Um, completely forgot what I was talking about.
Rehearsals when you met.
Rehearsals. Yeah, so we did West End Live. That was fun. And then started rehearsals like a week after that. Um, and really for the first week, it was all table work. It was all like us sat with Toby and Lucy and Joe Bayton, kind of like picking apart everything, just to really understand it, which is lush because
Mm.
I mean, I don't think that happens very often in musicals. Um, so that was really nice.
Yeah,
And of course, everyone was lovely. So like there actually isn't a bad egg in this bunch.
that's so
It's
nice to hear. It's so
it's
refreshing when there's just
genuinely
a
lush.
cast that all get on.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So how was it actually working with Toby and Lucy? Because they've obviously
Mhm.
created this. How did you find?
Yeah. I mean, from literally my first audition, I was like, right, I should play it cool. I should be like, oh yeah, six. I've heard of her. Um, but literally in my first audition, I was just like, oh my God, it's Lucy Moss. You know, like full name her, full name her.
Full name.
Um, and it was amazing. It was so much fun. And being like the biggest fan of Six ever, I saw Six on like the first tour straight after Fringe, and saw it in Southampton. Big up. Um, and was
Southampton,
blown
yes.
away. I literally sat like front and center, because I got really last minute tickets for like a tenner. And you know, like, in Six, in Get Down, where they
Yeah.
like get someone up from the audience. Spoilers, sorry everyone. When they get someone up from the audience, they got me up, and I was like, ah! Um, so I was, yeah, obviously, I literally left, bought the t-shirt, bought the cast recording, jogged on home.
Oh, what a show. I mean,
Yeah, like the obsession with All You Want to Do, especially. I like
oh,
listened to that maybe for the like 6 months after that, just on repeat.
it's so good. If you could be one of the queens, which one would you be?
I mean,
I feel
obviously, I
like
want to be
that's
a
the
woman.
hardest question.
I mean, weirdly enough, even though I'm not really an Anna of Cleves at all, she was the first one that I was like really drawn to because I was like, oh, a German queen, because like I have lots of German family. So I was
Oh,
like,
that's
oh, that's fun
nice.
to see.
Yeah.
But like I would say definitely Kay Howard or Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn. Ah,
Yeah.
those would be fun.
They're the duo, aren't they?
Exactly.
Yes. How was your preview week, your opening night? Did many people come and watch you, and what were their reactions?
Well, to be honest, previews wasn't that exciting well, it was exciting, but for me and the alts and the swings, like we were like going over stuff backstage.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
but like we just didn't really like I had my first show, I think like 2, 3 weeks after opening,
Yeah.
which like A is incredible. Like Joe Foster is literally a superhuman. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how they managed to do this role throughout all of rehearsals, through to like previews, like all of previews, like with like so many changes happening, all the way to opening, and just n like never calling off.
Yeah.
Because by that point, like me and Colette, alternate extraordinaire, um, were like still very much in the early days. So. Yeah, to be honest, by the time we got to previews and opening, we were just kind of still vibing backstage, being like, we've got a few weeks.
Yeah, for sure. How do you find learning it? Obviously, like when you're in the room, you're learning it at the same time, but you can't always block it. You can't always do it in the space. Like tech goes quite fast sometimes. How
Oh
do
my
you
goodness.
find
Yeah.
being an alternate?
Um, Initially, I was like, what have I gotten myself into?
Oh,
Because, like, especially, I've spent like basically all of my time with Colette, who has swung like multiple shows, who was an alternate in Six. So, like, knows what's what when it comes to
mm,
learning stuff from watching. Me, on the other hand, I was like, I need to do it I need
Yeah.
to do it, otherwise I it just won't go in my body. Um, so I would just because we had the limited time with like the rehearsal space, like in our lovely Jerwood Studios, which is gorgeous. Um, but yeah, because we didn't have the limited time, I would literally stay behind basically every day, get there
Wow.
early every day, and just either sing through all the material or just like try and work my way through everything on my own.
Yeah.
Because you just don't stop in this one.
Oh,
As much as I'd be
imagine.
like, oh yeah, let me go have my 15-minute break now, have a bit of a cup of tea or something. No, like the two times I leave the stage, I can't sit down. I'm changing.
Yeah. Yeah. What a great track, though. What's your favorite part of the track?
That's a hard one. Um, I would say songs wise, I love doing Shush. The one with the spoilers, the one with the pink dress.
Yeah.
That one, that one's literally a Broadway dream come true. Um, and obviously Disco Ball is so much fun. Um, but I would say actually, I mean, controversial opinion, Better Off Love Story, the finale is my favorite to do
Yeah.
because
Must be fun, that one.
and it's also at the point in the show where I'm like, whew, I've got it. Like I've basically got all of the big stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
By the time I've got to the finale, I've got all the big
Yeah,
stuff
well,
out.
pretty much. You'd hope.
Um, so it's just like, ah, great. And like as soon as like you have the opportunity to I don't know why I'm literally doing it right now. Podcast listeners, I'm looking around the room. Um, you get
Looking
the
around
opportunity.
the room dramatically with suspense.
Exactly, exactly. As if the rest of the cast of Why Am I So Single is sat here with me. Um, and it's just because I don't get to spend that much time with everyone. Like I spend my life with Lisa or Colette, which is wonderful because they are both stupidly talented, wonderful, kind human beings. But like the just the I don't know. I feel like it's just a moment of bliss is what I would describe because you just get to look around at everyone's beautiful face and think, we did it. You know what I mean?
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah,
So
it's just
nice.
nice.
Wholesome. So, what does your day in the life look like nowadays?
Well, funnily enough, you've caught me on a week where I'm on all week this week.
Wow, so you're
For
busy.
so much fun.
So fun.
Um, and I did my first two show day on Sunday, and I have never been that tired in my life that
Oh
evening.
my goodness.
Um, because yeah, going from like one show a week to, I mean, even just two on that day, I was like, but like I finally also got into a place because before as well, I was worried like technique wise, like, am I going to be able to carry myself through?
Mm,
Because it's just
sustain it.
gigantic.
Yeah.
Like you think of Elphaba, you think, oh,
Oh,
she at least she gets a little bit of a break. You know what I mean?
yeah.
She's running around, she's screaming, or like I don't know, Jean Valjean. I'm like, you get to leave the stage. You get to leave the stage. You get a few songs off. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, it's
Because it's just
true.
us
It's
two. I was
true.
like, stamina wise, that is, it's just something I've never expected to do ever. So like coming out of drama school, having like done a character that has one big song, and I'm like, ah, there's the moment, and then I can chill
Yeah.
out the show. Um, I can't even remember where I was going with this. What was the question?
About getting tired and
Oh, yes, yes. But stamina wise, it's actually in a lovely place now. Like I literally
yeah.
finished the show yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I could do
Could do
another
it
one.
again. Could do it again.
Oh good, oh good.
So,
Yeah.
do you have mornings to just relax? Do you do anything outside of like being a performer? How do you manage the work-life balance?
Well, currently, well, for the last couple of weeks. Well, I actually know since we started performances really. Um, Being an alternate is such, I feel like it's such a, it can be such a mind game
Mm,
because you're like, I need to be on all the time. I need to be switched on, ready to go. And I'm also first port of call if it's just like a normal show and Joe calls off, I'm first port of call to go straight into the theatre. So it's just like constantly being like on edge, like, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen?
yeah,
And so for the most part, it's just kind of being like, actually, no, it's okay. You can, it's taking the time to switch off, which I found so difficult. But I feel like I've gotten there now.
yeah.
Um, I really love to paint in my downtime. I mean, I'm not a
Lovely.
great painter, but it's fun.
Of course, you've got to do things that make you happy, that take
Exactly.
your
And like,
mind off things.
yeah, like anything because I'm such a creative person, obviously. Well, um, and but like before I'd like come home and I'd sing and I'd be like, I'm just tired. I don't want to do that. And like I'd pick apart things, be like, oh, I should do this, I should do that. Whereas like it's nice to do something that's still within like the creative world, but like
Sure.
completely askew. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I've spoken
Um,
to a lot of performers that like to do like crochet, stuff like
yeah.
that. Like that's it's just because in this industry people are so creative and even in their
Mhm.
downtime they still want to be creative, which is so understandable.
Exactly.
That's just
Yeah.
what makes them tick. They have to do it. Like,
Yeah.
it's nice though. It's a good pastime because it's relaxing, takes your mind off things whilst also being creative and being different to your job,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
nice. Um, with your cast, are you doing a Secret Santa this year?
We are. We are.
Have you got who you're doing?
No, I haven't yet. I think we're
Oh,
actually maybe we're doing it at the end of this week, I believe. I'm
I was
not
gonna
sure.
say,
And we're
like, can
also
you
going to do
tell
the
us who
traitors
you?
as well,
Oh, the traitors, that's so fun.
which is very exciting.
Have you started the traitors or is that not
I
started yet?
think that's a December thing, I believe.
Okay. Okay. You know what you should do as well? Elf on the Shelf.
Elf on the, we should do Elphaba on the shelf.
Elf on the
Mic
Shelf.
drop. Mic drop. I
That
I
would be
mean,
so good.
I've never been more excited for a film in my life.
Don't even. By the time this podcast is out,
Really
it will be.
exposed myself.
When are you going to see the Wicked film?
Oh, Friday, straight away. I'm gonna be there. We've done like a group trip with the cast. I've been like I put on the group chat. I was like, right, we all have to go. This is when we're gonna book. This is where we're gonna go. And I could not be more excited. I
Oh.
literally, Jem, one of our lovely sound people, literally brought me some Wicked merch yesterday because they just know I'm such a huge fangirl of that. Like, if there's like a gateway to musical theatre, for me, it was Wicked.
Oh.
And like my level of like knowledge of that show. I mean, maybe not so much with the recent casts, but like early 2010s. Oof. Ali Morsey, Donna Vivian, like all of the
Oh, you're all over it. You are
like
all over
I
it.
had my favorite. And yeah.
Who's your favorite Elsa ever?
Oh dear. Rachel Tucker, hands down.
Oh,
I
Rachel.
saw the 10th anniversary cast and like oh, she is just everything I want in like having a singing voice and just like presence as a performer.
Yeah,
Like you
she's
look
so
at her
good.
and you think, yeah, you know what I
She's
mean?
insane. And also,
Yeah.
did you see her in Come From Away? Because
Yes.
she is so good. So good.
Hmm.
Like in that role too. And did you see how all of the Elphabas and Glindas of the West End got a picture with Cynthia and Ariana Grande
I
at the
did, I
premiere. Like
did.
that picture's so cute.
Yeah, that
Just
was
so
gorgeous.
wholesome. So wholesome. But yeah, that film is going to be insane. Here it brings me on to my next question. If you could pick
Mhm.
like whatever show in the future to be in, like dream show, what would that be?
That's such a hard question. Um, I mean, actually, before doing this job, if you would have asked me what my dream show was to be in, I was like, oh, it's not been written yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it hasn't been done. And then like getting to realize what this show is, and I was like, oh, this is my dream role. This is actually everything I've ever wanted in a role. Um, so I mean, would have been this. I don't know. That's a hard question. I
there
mean,
is so many shows out there.
put me in green, call me Alphaba. Or, you know what? Put me in a bubble. You know what I mean? I really
Arlinda.
want to do. Do you know who Jinx Monsoon is?
No.
Oh, she was a contestant on Drag Race like years ago, and she since has just become like a Broadway diva, essentially.
Oh,
She she was in Chicago and she was in Little Shop, and now she's doing I think it's like Pirates of Penzance or something on
wow.
Broadway, and it's just like breaking down all of those doors for like trans, non-binary
Oh,
performers,
phenomenal.
and it's just a breath of fresh air to see, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then more of that over here.
Yeah, for sure. This might be personal question, but how do you feel as a member of that community in the industry?
Um, I mean, it's tough. It's really tough. Having like at drama school,
Yeah.
so much of what like the groundwork that you're learning is so gendered. Like just from like it's literally in every show. You have the male lead, you have the female lead, and then they fall in love. Or like there's something around that kind of genre in
Yeah.
everything,
So
essentially.
true. Yeah.
Um, and then occasionally we'll get like the the gay sidekick.
Mhm.
Or like the one that's like, I don't know, not very tastefully written, like to be the butt of the joke. So like, I mean, especially seeing like a show like this, like for Why Am I So Single,
Oh, yeah.
um, made my life. Um, so I mean, we just need more of this. If if there if there continue to be spaces held for trans and non-binary performers, I mean, yes, in musical theatre, but just full stop, then it comes from higher up. Like once they understand that we can do everything.
Ooh.
Like we there are so many talented people that I know that just aren't even looked at because
Mm.
because of who they are. Um, so yeah, I feel like once we proved them wrong, once we proved them wrong, then they'll take a hot second and be like, oh, okay, great.
Yeah, and I feel like Why Am I So Single is such a breakthrough moment
Yeah.
for
I
this.
mean,
And it's really fantastic that it's being brought more to the forefront of the industry.
yeah, I mean, literally a non-binary lead in
Yeah.
a West End musical. Like if you would have said that to me like even like 3 years ago, I would have been like, jog on.
Yeah.
Like the most we'll get is like, I don't know, a side character that, yeah, again, like sings one or two songs and then buggers off, but like isn't the main protagonist of the story because that just
Mm.
it doesn't happen very often.
Mm. What would your piece of advice be for a trans or non-binary performer making their way through drama school and wanting to be a part of the industry?
Just listen to yourself, to be honest. And obviously, listen, I mean, you're literally paying to be there for them to teach you. But don't take everything as gospel.
Yeah,
Take bits and pieces that really resonate with you. But if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
As long as it feels connected to you. Because if you're not connected to something, then there's no point in doing it.
yeah,
Um, and you can see that, like when you're watching something and I don't know, the performer isn't really in love with the song that they're singing, or like doesn't feel like they have a statement to, or some not even a huge statement, just like something to say with what they're doing. You can tell.
yeah. And it just
Um,
doesn't have that impact on the audience because
oh,
the performer's not connected to it.
yeah. So find the stuff that you're connected to, take bits and pieces, and make sure that you resonate with that, but really don't try and change yourself
Mm, yeah, that's
because
really
it's so easy to fall into that trap.
for sure, for sure. Especially when you're being put into different boxes, being assessed. I mean,
Mm,
it can, drama school's tough, and that's
yeah.
just the reality of it. It's just, you have to not lose yourself in the process, which, you might lose yourself for a few months and then you find yourself in that moment so rewarding because the hard work pays off.
Yeah. And also, you are literally there because, well, for the most part, you love it.
Of course.
And so, like, make sure you do the stuff that you love because that's literally the whole reason you're there.
Exactly that. Thank you for opening up about that topic because it's really important to talk about it. I think it's really nice for people to hear. So thank you. The last question I always ask my podcast guests is if you could nominate someone to come on, impart their knowledge, tell us about their journey in the industry so far, who would that be? And I'll reach out to them.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna say Colette Guitart because listen, that wonderful woman has done I don't even know what in this industry. Like I feel like I talk about random things and she's like, "Oh yeah, I was in that," and I'm like, "Great, great." She has so
What
many.
hasn't she done?
She has so many stories for literally everything. So she's fun. She's fun.
Okay, I will definitely reach out because she sounds great. Thank you so much, Jordan. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. And
Thank you
everybody
for having
listening, I hope you have had a nice time listening. And
me.
we will see you in the next week's episode. Thank you so much, Jordan. Take care.
See you later.